individual accomplishments. I'll start with our seniors. You know, Travis Souza is a young man who I recruited without having seen him play live and in person. You know, he struck me as someone who was a little bit like me. He'd been overlooked by Division I programs, but was incredibly competitive, wanted badly to accomplish something like we accomplished tonight. So I'm really incredibly proud and happy that he was able to do that. You know, he's been outstanding all year. He's been an incredible captain, an unselfish player, and tonight, as he always is, he was clutch. That's what defines him most to me. Some players are winning players, others are not. Travis clearly is a winning player. Will Davis, and I've said a lot about him, he's going to go down as one of the best players ever in our program's history. I don't care what anybody says. Not that anybody I don't think could dispute that. If you look at his accomplishments and now the fact that we've won the Big West tournament and accomplished something here that no one else has. We didn't get him the ball very well tonight early in the game, but I thought he stayed in the game and really delivered in the second half when we needed him to, as he's done all year. You know, he's a player that I'm really proud of because he's gotten better and better every year. And I think everybody at UCI has seen that. He's one of the most exciting college basketball players this program has seen clearly. So I owe a big debt of gratitude to those two guys because they came here when we said it was just like a dream. And they made it happen. And then Luke Nelson, you know, I gave him a big hug and joked about all the overseas trips that I took and getting to know him. His mom and dad were here tonight. You know, he has endured a lot of adversity this season, but the reason I recruited him was so he'd have nights like tonight and make plays like he did tonight. And the belief I've got in him and all these three guys, they haven't invented anything that can measure how much I believe in their character as basketball players and as people.
We're going to go back here and then we'll go over to Jim.
Hi, Tom Bassett, UC Irvine. Questions for Will. It seems this year the team's really taken on your leadership characteristics and the defensive intensity that everyone just seems to follow you on the court. Could you tell me what this year's been like for you, especially now that you and your team accomplished something that's never been done here before?
It's just been a great year overall. It's had its ups and downs, but throughout it, we just tried to come together and then bring everything we got. And then I knew that sometimes, like, if one teammate goes down, someone else has to lift them up, and then I would just try to bring energy, and then that's always contagious. So I thought maybe if I brought it, then someone else would bring it when I was down, and vice versa and everything like that.
Joe?
Joseph DiPolito, Honolulu Star Advertiser. Russell, I noticed you and Mamadou hugging at the end of the game. How would you describe the nature of your relationship with him, since he is a sophomore, since he is kind of raw? You were a post player in college. How does all of that fit together?
Boy, that's a good question, I guess, but it's one that's hard to answer. The hug I gave Mamadou was like I gave all my other players. You know, with each player, there's a special story. You know, just as I talked about the story of Luke and his recruitment and the story of Travis and then Will made us wait months for his decision. I look back on that now and probably worth the wait. With Mamadou, it's the same thing. His story is so incredible. Knowing him when we began to know him, you know, means a lot now for us, and it's difficult to describe all that. You know, we have had great belief in him, in his ability to endure adversity, in his ability to learn English and become eligible and be committed academically to the challenges he would face at UC Irvine. Nobody really knows about that when they watch the games. And so it means a lot to me to see that young man compete and perform and impact our program the way he has, because these guys up here are great. He's great too, and they all have such a unique impact on what we've now done. So I was talking to him a little bit about that. I forgot your question, but I mean, I just started talking about Mamadou. I mean, there's so much to say about that kid. I mean, I'm happy for him. You know, I'm really, really happy for him and every one of the other players individually.
Would any of the players on the dais want to comment on that?
Will, you want to comment on how he's
Just from his first year to this year, he's just grown as an individual. He's taken more time in the post. I don't know, you can see how he's matured over the years. And the one thing that hasn't changed at all is his competitive nature. He's always going so hard after the ball. He always wants to win. And that's just something that he's passed along to all of us.
I mean, yeah, like Will said, I mean, the progress of the last 2 years has been unbelievable. I mean, he makes such a difference maker out there on the court, whether he's scoring or not. I mean, you see guys out there having to throw shots over him, and it just alters every shot out there. So having him on the court is amazing, and then obviously having him as a friend off the court is unbelievable. I mean, super caring guy. He's just great to be around. You gotta love Mama Dad.
Yeah, I'm talking about him off the court. It's just so fun to be around all the time. There's never like a dull moment when you're around him. He's just like making jokes, you know, having a great time. And then when it comes to game time, he really switches on. It's like really focused. You know, we can follow that with the same intensity and stuff on the court.
And one component of your question that is particularly meaningful to me is that I was an emotional big guy. And Mamadou was an emotional big guy. And we get along. Every now and then I see a look in his eye that strikes some fear in me because his competitive fire is so strong. But the kid, the young man, is really special as a competitor. These guys all have seen it. All these guys all.
What does it mean for you guys to have been Catholic for
I mean, it's kind of hard to describe the feeling. It's unbelievable. I mean, we knew how hard we've worked over for the last 4 years, and Luke for the last 2 years here. Knowing we're the first team to do it is great. I mean, we came here 2 years ago, finals, and we lost, and we knew what that heartbreak felt like. And knowing the other side of it now, it's a phenomenal feeling. It's great.
I mean, I came here with that as my goal. You know, that's something that the coach to me. It's something that, I mean, we were close to last year, my freshman year, but close to this year. But that was one of the things that really drew me to come in, is the fact that I could be a part of school history and doing something special here at Irvine that no other team has done here before. And that was something that really was what made me drew me towards Irvine.
Similar thing for me also. When we got here my sophomore year, we just had the mindset that we were going to win every game and win out the championship. And then once we got to the championship, we realized that it wasn't that easy. And then the following year, I feel like that we came with the mindset, same exact mindset. So we won the regular season, and then we ended up losing in the second round. And then this year, it was my senior year, it was my last chance. So I feel like this is the year that we had to make it, like there's no other option. And then so we came out, played our heads out every night, and made good plays.
Will, Travis, when you guys picked Irvine, what said to you that this could be possible? What was it about the pick?
I mean, we knew it was a fairly new coaching staff, so it was a new culture, and we knew it was someplace that we can kind of start from the ground up and build. And I can't remember who committed first. I think it was Will, but we both ended up going to Irvine. And I mean, the recruiting process was pretty strong for Will. And then I wanted to go to a winning program. I know Summer Will go. It's going to be a strong program. So for every year we just built on it. First year we had our struggles, and I don't know if we were even 500. After that, we built on it. After that, we, like I said, made it to the finals. And last year we won the regular season. And this year we finished it off with the Big West title, so it's a good feeling.
Many of you may not know that Will and Travis were coaches.
We were teammates at New Hampshire for a year after playing summer ball for 2 years together, so we've been around each other for a while.
When I chose Irvine, I wanted to go to a place where I could leave a mark once I graduate from there, and I knew it was a growing program, new coaching staff, and everything like that. So I wasn't the first class under Coach Turner, but I felt like I was still one of the newer ones, and it was hard my freshman year. I think we went 12 and 20 that year, and then but we had all the building parts. We didn't lose any seniors that year, and then the following year we just came back stronger, and I feel like we just built it up every year after that.
Having said the fact that Will or Travis, you guys 2 years ago you were in the finals. Last year you won the regular season title. What was it that kind of got you guys over the hump this year? Was it experience? Was it the people in the postseason? Was there some sort of mental hurdle you guys had to overcome?
I feel like this year, like in the past 2 years, we were pretty close as a team off the court, and then on the court we were close also. But this year, I feel like we're the closest we've been in a while. We always hang out, and then we just have that like togetherness. And then this year, we also had so many different injuries, different trials and tribulations throughout the entire year. And I feel like that just strengthened us because different people had to step up, and then I feel like that just made us deeper as a whole team.
Yeah, I agree with Will. I mean, the injuries we had this year, we had guys step up from Jeremy, maybe first game of the year, we didn't touch the floor to a game where we all conference in Vegas and having double-digit scoring games, and then Giannis stepping up in big times, and John Ryan going out, and Bet stepping up. So I mean, it was just the next guy mentality. And this year, one guy goes down, next guy steps up. So in a way, those injuries were a blessing in disguise, and we just did it as a full team effort here.
Brian, that's the Star Advertising newspaper. Coach Turner, you touched upon Hawai'i coming out kind of on fire the way they did, popping things like that. How did you guys feel like you could weather that? And like you said, I guess you didn't change your game plan to that.
Yeah, they got off to a great start, and our zone has been really good at preventing threes, and we know that that's not been traditionally Hawaii's strength, but they made them today, just like they made them at the start of the Davis game. And I think with one of the timeouts, I reminded our guys they made a bunch early against Davis and cooled off after that. And I was confident that if we raised our defensive level just a little bit, we would be able to make them miss some of the same shots they had made. And I thought we could grind them down with our defense. We beat them 3 times this year, and we made the games in each case about our ability to defend. Hawai'i has I give Benji credit. I mean, Benji Taylor great credit for what he's done with that team this year. They have a distinctive style that fits perfectly their personnel, and they're disruptive. They're very difficult to play. He's done an outstanding job of building an identity with that team, and they're young, so they should be good for a long time. It's not easy to take care of the ball against Hawai'i. They're quick, they're strong, and they are attacking. And we did that against them. That was the reason we were able to win. I think we focused on the right things, and then we made enough offensive plays in the second half to gradually pull ahead.
Luke, that's your background. First of all, your international experience, do you feel like that helped you in an atmosphere like this tonight, which is really different than what you see in the regular season? And secondly, growing up, did you watch the NCAA tournament? What was the first thing you remember about seeing it?
To answer your second question, I used to watch it pretty much every day. I used to have about one channel that I play college games, and I'd have them on and record all the time. So I was always catching up on games that I missed. And it was something that I wanted to be a part of. So what was the first question? Sorry. Definitely. Because in the FIBA European Championship, we play like maybe 9 games in 11 days. And this is a 3-day stretch, which is hard. And I had to perform in those kind of situations in the European Championships. and I've had a few good tournaments, and that experience has meant that I can kind of keep going after like the next day and the next game.
Yeah, I've seen it. Luke was 1 for 5 tonight for 3. Every time he shot it, I expected it to go in because I've seen him make shots in big games. As meaningful for his national team as this game was tonight for our program. So that experience is incredibly valuable. Some guys have that ability when stakes are highest to be at their best. Will showed tonight that he has that ability too. Travis has shown that. We've got Alex Young has shown it. We've got a bunch of guys on our team who've shown that. I'd say Mama has shown it too.
And if you just talk about what it felt like in the second half to first half. First half going to 2 points, 1 for 4, and the second half, you took so much of it. Just talk about how it felt to be used to go through that process.
In the first half, we got off to such a hot start, and I just was like, I'm just telling our team that we just got to keep playing our defense. We know that they're making all their shots right now, and they're not going to keep this pace up for the entire game. And then offensively wise, I only had 2 points in the first half. That wasn't a big deal to me because my teammates were hitting their shots, and we were still it was still a very close game. And then when the second half started, we just wanted to kind of keep the momentum going that we ended the first half with. So we tried to pick up our defense from the very beginning and then not let them get off to such a hot start. And then I got a few good touches towards the beginning of the second half, and then we ended the game well.
Travis, you want to follow up on that at all?
Yeah, like we said earlier, they were hitting a lot of shots in the first half, a few in transition, and a few we felt like we had good contests, but they were just hitting shots. You got to credit them for those. But like Will said, every dead ball, every free throw, we're huddling up, and we're saying, keep doing what we're doing. We're hoping they're not going to fall the whole night at least. And they started to come off a little bit, and we just had to make sure we finished everything with a rebound and take care of the ball, and we knew we were going to work our way back in, and we did to close out the first half, and then the second half was just a battle back and forth, and we just had to do the things we do in practice every day, and we had a good feeling we'd come out on top.
Coach, any thoughts, predictions as to where you guys might end up?
No. It doesn't matter. I'm looking forward to the opportunity to compete. I know that our team will believe that we'll have a chance to be successful if we execute, and that's a good feeling, There have been other years where I was hoping we would win this tournament, but I knew that we wouldn't have any opportunity to advance. I look forward to tomorrow and getting ready for our next opponent.
Do you feel like that your experience, you've been to the NCAA tournament many times, now comes in handy and you can impart some of that to these guys?
Maybe. I hope so, yeah. I have been a bunch of times with a couple of different schools, and of course that will help somehow, just as it helped our players to have played in a game like tonight. One thing I know is that you got to get yourself ready to play and get over the wonderful feeling that we're experiencing now. We've got to get rested, obviously, but then we got to get ready to play. And if we do that, all these guys grew up watching the NCAA tournament. They know that teams like us can accomplish great things. So we're going to try to prepare and take our best shot.
All right. With that, we're going to wrap it up. Thank you very much.
Thanks, everyone.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Let's get on out of here, boys.
I'm going to go over a few. Can you get the mic back up, please? Can we have okay, thanks. A few post-game notes. I'm just going to read through them real quick for anyone who needs them. This is UC Irvine's first Big West Tournament championship since joining the conference in the 1977-78 season. The Anteaters advanced to the first NCAA tournament in school history. The Anteaters were 0-4 in their 4 previous trips to the tournament finals. That was 1988, 94.